Mercy Ships is an international organization. Mercy Ships Canada is one of 16 organizations around the world that support the work of our current ship, the Africa Mercy. We have had, since 1978, over the years, 5 ships that have gone to the poorest regions of the world and provided free medical services. Today it's one ship, but that ship, the Africa Mercy, is the largest hospital ship in the world that's not owned by a government. It's crewed by volunteers who provide their service for free. They also pay their board and room and their transportation to and from the ship to do the work that they do. Last August, there were 42 nations represented in the crew on board. So 450 people from 42 different countries spending time together, bringing what we refer to as hope and healing to the world's forgotten poor. What we really try to represent by the actions of the crew is that Mercy Ships brings love to the action that we do. We're just sharing what we have to people who have nothing, whose hope really has been taken away from them. Most of the work we do is what we describe as transformational medicine. It's not cardiology, it's not oncology, but it's taking a life that has been changed for either a birth defect or some trauma or a growth, and we try to take that away from them. Abel, who was a young boy who, when he had an injection as an infant, it stopped the muscles from growing on the fronts of his legs, so his legs ended up growing backwards. And he comes to the ship, and we're able to, with our orthopedic surgeons, to straighten his legs. And so now, a boy who was ostracized, ridiculed, is now playing soccer with his buddies. The joy that comes back in their faces. There's an example of a father who came to us who had cataracts since birth, and he'd never seen his children. And so we were able to do the surgery, the simple cataract surgery, and all of a sudden he can now see his children. Since 1978, we've delivered over $1 billion worth of free medical services in more than 70 countries, and have touched the lives of 2.3 million people.
Lots of times too, just sailing on down from Europe or the Canary Islands down to Africa. My husband and I and our 2 children lived on the Anastasis, which is the first ship of Mercy Ships. And we were 15 years on board as a family, raised our 2 children on board. They did all of their schooling on board basically. And we had a full school for our kids, right from nursery to grade 12 plus. My husband was the principal of the school, and then he went into teaching HIV/AIDS in the villages while I worked in the communications department.
When we were in Liberia, a country of 6.5 million people, there were 4 dentists. So, think about standing on a street corner in downtown Victoria. You could probably swing a cat and hit 4 dentists. But the reality is, you have an abscessed tooth and you don't know what to do, and it may mean the end of your life. We will stay in a country for 10 months at a time. And so right now, because we only have the one ship, we focus on West Africa, the poorest region of the world, which is described by the development of the United Nations Human Index scale. And we will probably in that time frame touch between 50 and 60,000 lives.
What hit me the most was the simple thankfulness of the people. They still had sweethearts and gentle hearts, and they still were so thankful for anything that could be done. And that's one of the things for us who serve with Mercy Ships, is we get to experience that.
Really what we've been doing a lot of in the last number of years is trying to build capacity within the country. And so we're using the skills of our surgeons, the surgeons who volunteer their time to teach surgeons and doctors and health practitioners or even agriculture. We have an agricultural program that we work when we're in a country teaching basic sustainable agriculture. And why do we care with what's going on the other side of the world? Because I think that's human nature, to really care about others, even though we may never meet them. People can help by telling the story, sharing our message. People can help by volunteering. People can help by donating. They can call our office here in Victoria. They can drop by our office here in Victoria on Oak Street. Or they can participate in events that we're having. One of the events that we're going to have this September 15th is a Love in Action Gala. One of those get dressed, put on your finery, or if you've got some African costume, you can wear your African dress to the event. And it's like a normal gala event. Auctions, some wonderful stories, some great images, great entertainment. Louise Rosen, her choir, are going to come entertain us. And Don Stevens, the founder of Mercy Ships, will be there to tell those gathered about what inspired him and what work he's been doing over the last 34 years to continue to make this organization grow and make a difference in people's lives.